All right. Hmm. Now I don't know if I have sound. Oh, fuckers. Do I have sound now? I don't know. Whoa. Oh no. I do. Oh. Excellent. Okay, very good. Yay. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you. Yes, Donna, I can see you. And I'm also I'm excited that you can hear me. What a morning. YouTube. I was so excited. Look, I have an overhead going for the cutting of my legit kits, my second block. I'd done this one on Sean's channel yesterday morning. But yes, I'm so excited to hear that you can hear me. That's great. Woo, good golly. So I'm gonna still have to figure out how to get, because the Zoom meeting said I was live and I was live streaming, but YouTube said still waiting for Slay Arts. So we'll see. We'll see what we have to do next. Each week it's something new. I'm getting a little bit closer to being able to do it correctly. But good morning. Welcome everybody. Donna, hi Ingrid, hey Stephanie. Thank you so much everybody that was helping me, Celie and Shelly. Woo, all right. So good morning, happy Sunday brunch. The hope is to maybe work a little bit while we chat a little bit. I'm working on the bottom row of Legit Kits Sail Away. Hoping to, fingers crossed, to have this done soon. I have put a time frame, I think, every time I've talked about Sail Away, and I haven't hit a single one of those times. I haven't hit one of those deadlines yet. But so I'm not gonna say a date or a time this go around. I'm just gonna work towards completion, and then I'll be very happy. How is everybody doing there out there in the real world? Awesome, you guys are saying hi to each other. I appreciate you guys hopping from one to the actual live. I will get that figured out. I'm also going to get figured out. I'm going to figure a different, like, I don't know, are these called boom things too, or is it boom just sound? I'm going to figure out another way to hold for the overhead camera, because this is like right in my way and it's distracting me. Oh, getting hungry. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. What is everybody's favorite brunch item. Oh, baby came 2 weeks early. Sorry, Cheryl. Oh, that's okay. The baby will be a baby for a while. You're good. It still counts as a baby quilt. I think my favorite brunch item, I love a good eggs Benedict, but like the Maryland, like with the blue crab and the Old Bay seasoning. I love that. That's yummy. Oh, wraps are good. Love to have a mimosa, like, or a blini. Blinis are good too. Oh, yes. Yesterday, a friend of ours, Marla, saw this, but she was looking on her phone, so it was much smaller, a smaller screen. And this piece that holds my little snips and seam flattener on the front of my Singer, it was right here in my chest. She thought I'd gotten a new chest tattoo. But she went to a larger screen and was like, that is not what I thought that was. Oh, veggie omelets are good. Yum. It's cool. So we're talking about what we like for brunches, and we know Cheryl's working on a baby quilt. Did I miss anybody saying what else they're working on? Yes, Cheryl, Maryland crab meat. Yum. Love that. And I am a Maryland child. I love everything with Old Bay. I am not I know that they're like, Marylanders makes fun of ourselves about, everything on our cars and trucks and everything have Maryland flags all over the place. And I have not gone that far. I don't have Maryland flags all over the place, but I do love Old Bay wings, Old Bay fries, Old Bay, everything. And anything for a shrimp boil or, any kind of boil will have Old Bay seasoning involved in all ways. Yeah, definitely a Maryland girl for that. Oh, you make eggs Benedict in the microwave. French toast cups this morning. Oh, a Caesar salad. So Caesar salads can be controversial. I'm a complete foodie. Went to culinary school. Worked in restaurants for a while, pre kiddos. I love Caesar salads. I love anchovy, and they don't scare me on pizzas or in Caesar salad dressing. Do you know that it's there? Have you noticed that anchovies are there, or do you prefer like a Caesar dressing with no anchovies in it? Veggie omelet. Oh, cream cheese and raspberry jam. That's yummy. He meant the drink. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Oh, an ID case. Oh, Donna, good. I'm glad that you're able to like start sewing again. Donna, CS4. I'm gonna put this little finished piece. This is H2C. I'm gonna pop this up here so that I can start cutting for H2B while we talk. Because now I'm hungry, and if I don't start working, I'm gonna start having my tummy start growling, and that would be embarrassing. Move this to the side too. There we go. Not an anchovy fan. I when I was a kid, absolutely not. Like when I was younger, there was no way. But going to culinary school, they made you, and before I went into culinary school, I was like, oh, I'm going to make myself like all the things I've hated. Like I hated black olives. Well, I hated any olive, really. Didn't like anchovies, didn't like liver, didn't like wine, didn't like coffee. And so I tried to make myself at least be able to stomach all of those things so that I'd be able to know if things would work well together, or if something tasted right or in the way it should once it's cooked well, or didn't taste right. And so I definitely became an olive and an anchovy fan. Have never become a coffee fan, and still not a big wine drinker. I do like the sweeter, like dessert wines. Love the Moscatos, like, because they're really sweet. I like those, but then they give me a headache because they're so sweet. So I just kind of stay away from them. I'll just stay a beer girl, leave it at that. Except for I do like mimosas, and I don't like champagne by itself, but with orange juice is fantastic. And I like the Bellinis, not Bellini. Yeah, I like those too. Hi, Mary. Yeah, I love the saltiness that an anchovy will add to a good pizza, a good dressing, anything. It's fun. Again, I'm gonna just kind of get started on sewing this up while we chitty chat. It's the Legit Kit Sail Away QV. I'm usually a cut the fabric as I goer, but when I was working with the testing group, we discovered that QV was a little bit tight on leftovers, which is what the testing group is for. We figured that out hopefully before it goes out to you guys. So I went, anything that had QV in it, I went ahead and pre-cut that one so that I would know exactly how much I had left. Hey, Mom. Mary Beth's my mom. Say hi, Mom. Good morning. Hi, Paula. Oh, Ingrid, thank you so much. The interviews and the like sew-in chats, they've been so much fun. This has been such a wild ride. It's been a blast. I'm excited about like what's happening. Oh, you have family in Maryland? Yes. That's, oh, the neighbor's doing some housework. I just heard a screwdriver, so I apologize if you hear that. Do you have a place that you go to, Cheryl, like all the time when you're coming here to see your family in Maryland? Is there a spot you hit? I need to get working and talking. Look at it. This is the little sliver that GM is. Just a wee little sliver. There. I do my favorite ones that are like this, where all of the pieces have a 90-degree angle to them. So I like cutting those. They make me happy. Oh, he grabs. Okay. Oh, that's cool. We do every summer for, I think it'll be 7 years now since we've been in this, bought this townhouse. We've done a crab feast every summer. So that sounds like what you got going on. I'm gonna take this off, otherwise I'll stab myself. Yeah, I love crab feasts. I guess I can't say we've had 7 though, because the pandemic definitely put a kibosh on having the larger, like everybody coming feast for that 1 year. All right, so I don't know if you got, let me move my hands a little bit. You'll see this sewing line comes all the way down here. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm not telling you if you're doing one to cheat a little bit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut because this is where I have it. As long as it goes, I'm just gonna be okay with that because it's in the seam allowance, and in the extra added bonus seam allowance that I always make sure I put on these. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna roll with that. Katie, you've got the bomb. Oh, legit Akita. Oh, that's I think that's an autocorrect, but I like it. That's a good dog. You got the block of the month. You gotta open it and make the block. Yep, don't be scared. Just tear that bad boy open and go for it. It is, oh, I don't have it hanging up beside me anymore. It's a lot of fun. You can rewatch my video, of course. I'm always going to recommend watching my video on how to put it together with our live sew of putting it together. But there are a lot of folks out there sharing their tips and tricks and ways on how to do it also. So, you'll have some really good what was it? Not creative, well, creative voices, but some really good creators out there who are doing the block too, that can help you put it together confidently. I know everybody just cringed with me doing the rotor towards me, but I'm all right. I'm living on the dangerous side. There we go. All right, so that's 4. This is 4, 3, 1, and 2. He is at work today. So where I'm at is in my living room area in the townhouse. But for that, like, we're kind of like opposites all the way down this townhouse row. So for him, where he's at and working in is his kitchen. So they must have some stuff going on in the kitchen. I'm at the back of the house for me, well, for both of us, and his kitchen is in the back and mine's in the front. Kind of cool. Oh, so often, so these the larger kits. Let me make sure that I don't lose that comment. I want to make sure I really read it. Oh, thanks. Oh, the 2 colorway, yeah. The bomb is all like much bigger pieces for the whole kit. It is a very beginner friendly sew. These larger kits, every kit for legit kits is listed from the most beginner friendly, which is a single dot on the front. Let me grab some paperwork to show you, to a 3, which is confident. Like, I say confident, but even then, the recommendation, like everybody has been saying, and I'm totally on board with this, is for every kit, start with, it's always like the outside blocks have the larger pieces, and then it kind of works into the spicier, more intricate pieces. So, and there's no rules telling you that you have to do A1, A2, A3. Do all the blocks that seem the easiest to you. The most, like this block here, it's 8 pieces, but it's all on one sheet. I didn't have to cut this page up, or it's just each piece goes pretty much all the way across the page. Very easy. That's a great one to start with if you've never done it before. Even if the first one you jump in on is a number 3. But let me grab some paperwork. The camera's probably going to follow me. So let's see. Is it? Oh, yeah, here. So you see that? There we go. So Sail Away is a good beginner one. It's a 1 dot. So it's a beginner friendly. It's faster, lots of large details. Where it gets more, I'm going to say complicated, but I don't mean complicated, because you're going to focus just on the one section at a time. Is in this area. This is where it's going to get more detailed, much tinier pieces. You're going to be your 8 by 11 piece is going to get cut up into smaller pieces, so that you're getting all of the angles, which is what FPP is famous and wonderful for, is all the wild angles that you could never get just in traditional piecing. That's where, in this area, is where it's going to get like that. So as you're looking at the kits, you can, say, okay, this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3, and gauge where you feel confident in. But if a 3 really makes you happy and you're excited about it, don't let that scare you. Start off with these outside pieces where the pieces of fabric are going to be larger, and work your way as you get more and more confident and more comfortable. Work your way into the more complicated pieces. So that's my soapbox moment on legit kits. And as always, watch videos. Let people help you get through it, and ask questions. For sure. Working on the gnome block. Aww. I haven't dived into the embroidery world yet, but I'm trying to stay focused and not squirrel out too much and jump in on all the other things that are out there. All right, let's see. We got GM out of the way, but GM also goes with this guy. All right. RG. Good morning, Dawn. Welcome. Stephanie was just asking everybody what they're working on, and I'm trying to keep up in the chat too, see what everybody's working on. Yeah, just hanging this morning. Or do you have a project to do? Oh, you're very welcome. I hope that made much sense. If not, you can always shoot me a message, an email, or Facebook Messenger. I think YouTube has my email in there. So for this little sliver, I'm not gonna stress too much. I like having clean lines as much as I can to start from for the next piece. And this little bit, I'm just not even gonna worry about folding up. I'm just gonna go straight across from that side. That's one. Ooh, scrappy Irish chain. Katie, you're working on house stuff. Oh, afternoon tea. That's so sweet. I love that. Oh, Steven's working on the quilt from hell. I missed out on that. I took a nap. I took a nap in between. I talked to Ingrid for a little bit, but then I went and took a nap. I was wiped out. Okay, so, and in the it's your world and nobody can tell you what to do. For me, this piece is larger than I'm comfortable just keeping on. So for this piece, I will fold it back and make a more exact to the shape cut, because this sliver just is just too big for me to leave it be. Hey, Del Marie, welcome. Whoa, 50 quilts a year. You are a machine. Yep, got it. Yay. All right, all my pieces for H2B are done. I think RG is, nope, not going to be in the next piece, so we can go there. All right. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about this quilt from hell. I'm sure at some point it'll be on like So Chatty or something. I'll get to see about it. All right, so I'm going to be putting this together. One for the first piece of every FPP. It doesn't matter with the Kona solids because it's the same front and back, no right or wrong side. But the number one piece will always be right side. So, and this used to confuse me, and I think I've said this before. It is right side facing up when you're looking at placing the fabrics. It is wrong side up when you're looking at the line that you're sewing. So you kind of you have to remember that. That will be a gotcha if you're not paying attention. One is right side up when you're looking at the fabrics, not when you're looking at the sew line. Hi, Dawn. I am working on a legit kit. I'm working on the Sail Away. Oh, great. Okay. And I cannot wait to see about this quilt. I will be watching for sure. All right. So now I can see in the through the shadows from the sunlight coming in that this absolutely fits everything. And then I'm going to fold number 2 back and make sure I have the second piece. Nope, I'm doing that one wrong. Here we go. Need the thicker side up top. Thickums up top. There we go. We want to make sure. So I can see, oh, hold on a second. There we go. I can see that I have too much hanging out off this side, and I'm not really catching where the fabric needs to cover for piece 3. And I can see that from the shadows coming through. You may not be able to see that on camera, but as you're working, and I will also do this, I will bring it over to my overhead camera and I'll look to see that I have enough fabric on all of the sides of the sew lines that I need to be catching, the seam allowance that I need to be catching. And then I can see where the sew line is on this side. And I can feel from the back side that the fabric is covering over where that line is. So I'm comfortable and confident in my placing the fabric in this spot, that when I sew it and flip it, it'll work out. Now, proof is in the pudding. Let's see if that actually happens. Let's see if I have done it. The only thing I don't have is a camera that's right at my sewing machine where my needle is. But I'll be putting out like videos of, I have some videos of close-ups of me doing this, but I'll put more out too, to explain how, like, I always roll the needle down so that the feed dogs will go down further, and then slowly roll the needle back up, so that when I'm sliding the fabrics under the needle to start, the feed dogs don't catch and then misalign all the fabric under there. That's happened to me so many times. It's so frustrating. And so that was something that I learned to do. Celie can't wait to hear the rant. Ron, you're starting the bomb and the crow. Very cool. Oh, Poe. I like that. I like that. Ron, you'll have to share pictures of you working on the bomb. That'll be fun. Oh, I definitely want to see the crow. But I love the strong contrast between the coloration that they've used for the crow with the purples and the dark, and from black to purple, and then the orange of the background. So pretty. I'm excited to see that. Oh, yes, definitely learn from my mistakes. Learn from my pain. Many a rant I have had at my machine for catching fabrics and it turning out cuckoo. I could bring that iron up here, possibly. We'll see. We'll get this. I'm a big fan of the Acorn, either the spray to make the seams lay flat or the precision pen. Even with FPP, just go lightly so it doesn't alter your papers. And if you've heard me say that before, I apologize for the repetitiveness, but it's good to make sure I share it for folks that may not know. And then, so there we go. And this is the extra seam allowance. This is my added safety net of seam allowance. So we are good. 1 and 2 are successfully added. And I probably could have pulled it further down, but when I cut it, I obviously did, because remember I said I didn't want that much fabric up in here. But all good. It covered, and that works for me. So I'm gonna push this back. You can, at this point, if you have an add a quarter ruler, absolutely go ahead and use it. If not, I'm just going for it. I like to live on the edge. It's so dangerous. Rebel quilter, this one. So there we go. Nice, sort of close to a 1/4 inch. Yeah, hear it more than once. All right, so 1 and 2, 3 is QV. Hey, Paula. Okay, let's see. Paula's asking or saying she's doing her first paper piecing. So excited to have you join us. Yay for drinking the Kool-Aid. You're doing the vortex first. Oh, you watched yesterday. Yay. Do we leave the papers on the back, and do I put together the A with the B? Am I making sense? So put this down for a second because I will get distracted. I leave the papers on the majority of the entire back. So my A, you know what? Let me grab it. My papers for A and B are still on for the majority. The only time I remove papers is once I've sewn A1 to A2 and I turn it around and I'm happy. Oh, sorry for all this. I'm happy with how the seams have aligned and I feel good about that. And I'm ready to iron that seam flat because I do iron the in-betweens flat. That paper in here is what I'll remove. I'll go ahead and get rid of that bulk, right? Like just go ahead and get rid of it and iron that all flat. And then I did A1 to A2, B1 to B2, and did the same thing, removed. And so, and in B is the only block that you are actually sewing 2 pieces together. I did the same thing there, made sure my seams were good. I was happy. And then took the paper out in between there, put those together, sewed B1, B1A and B together, then sewed B1, the entirety of that block, to B2, removed the fabric from in there at the seam, and then sewed those 2 pieces together to A1 and A2 as a 4-patch and remove. You can see I actually haven't even removed. I was so excited I finished. I didn't remove that paper, but I will remove. This will be the paper that I remove. So that I'm ready to sew this 4-patch to the next, that will get probably next month. So other than that, these papers stay in because this gives you the stability to sew the next set of 4 on or your next block on, however you're doing. If you're doing it all in rows, say you're not doing the block of the month and you're doing a regular kit. I'm a by rower. So I'll do all of A row, A through however many you have, all of B, and then sew those rows together. Some do it in quadrants, which is awesome and cool. And Legit Kit shows you how to do both. Any way that you want to do it is good. But I leave the paper in for the stability and because the papers have where you can pin to make sure you're getting the seams to align. And they have the magic white lines, which helps also make sure, especially when you're doing angled pieces, where, you know, when you're sewing angled pieces together, like you always end up with like a little bit off the edge of one. And it's always like a mind mess where you're thinking, when I flip this over, when I like iron it out, is that going to look right? These white lines, they help you line that up correctly so that you know that, yes, this much is actually supposed to be outside of what I'm stitching. And then when you flip it open, everything is a nice, like right angle. So was a long-winded story to tell you, yeah, keep the paper on. And I hope I made sense. I want to make sure you guys all have all the information to be as successful as possible. So if I talk too fast or if I have said something that doesn't make sense, please ask me to slow down and re-explain. And I am more than happy to do that. I know I'm a fast talker and I talk even faster when I'm excited about something. So I hope that helped. I hadn't even realized I hadn't taken these papers out. That's how excited I was to put it up and show that it was all done. Put that over here. Yesterday was, oh no, please don't ever feel like you're interrupting. That is absolutely a fantastic question. And you know, that will end up helping somebody else too. So I am always happy to answer. That makes me feel good that you have come to me and asked that. So don't ever feel like you can't ask me. But yesterday was the last day to sign up for the inaugural block of the month for Legit Kits, which means that they are charging today, though it's a Sunday, so I don't know that like you actually get I don't know how banking works anymore in this 24/7 world. Maybe you get charged today, maybe it'll go through tomorrow, but so block 2 is charging and going to be getting ready to be sent out. So excited, because that means that as soon as I get the shipping notice, as long as the shipping notice isn't like on a Thursday, because I definitely won't have it by that following Sunday. But as soon as I know when it's shipping, the Sunday that makes the most sense is when I'll be sewing live again for month 2. So excited. All right. You know, we've talked an awful lot about Legit Kits. And I know we've got a baby quilt out there and some embroidery stuff being worked on. Anybody else out there working on anything? I know Cheryl, I believe, is getting ready for an afternoon tea with some friends for a birthday. Or if you have more questions, the questions part makes me giddy. I enjoy that. See, I was battling my feed dogs there. Hadn't rolled it forward. No, you can't see that I was, but I was. Take my word for it. I was battling my feed dogs there. Oh, yep. Yeah, sewing live the Sunday after. So I've been saying the Sunday after the shipping notification goes out, but then I realized, well, if they say they're shipping it on Thursday, I definitely won't get it in time to sew that Sunday. So, you know, we gotta play that one by ear. Hopefully they'll be sending shipping notifications early in the week. It did not take very long to get to me, and I will be sewing them live every month. I'm having Linda having trouble cutting the print fabric and to have the angle going the right way. I have ripped out so many times. Yeah, pattern fabric, print fabric is difficult in itself, on top of you're placing fabric upside down from how you're really sewing it together. I've found that when I'm placing the fabric, I hope this looks okay as I'm doing this. So let's say I'm putting, I know, so the numbering is weird, but I'm just going to say I'm putting, this is QV, and I already have it here because I talked about it was a low, like close to not having enough fabric. So QV is here. Say I'm going to go ahead and I'm putting 8. I'm putting DV on it next. What I do is I fold this piece down, and then I line up. Oh, well, this is small, but let's say that this is DV. I line it up this way, across the, to try to have the same seam allowance, that quarter, that's a healthy 1/4 inch. And then I look into, sitting here, I have my French doors. So I have a lot of natural light coming in, so I can use the light here, and I will use that light to see if that piece that I just put behind is going to cover the number that I'm looking to cover. So I know you got, oh, okay, there we go. A little bit better there. I want to make sure that my piece is covering the seam allowance and over the sew line of the next piece that you'll be putting on, because you already know that you're covered on this side because you're lining it up with the piece you already sewed. You want to make sure you've got at least a 1/4 inch coming over. There we go. Okay, coming over this next sew line. You have to make sure you've got coverage over that. So I've found that as I've started doing this, like holding it up into the light up this way, feeling where I can see that this is the line. If I have so much fabric on now, I can't see through it anymore because they're deep purples. Then I'll make sure that I can feel that fabric is over all of the seam allowance that I need. And since I've started doing that, I've been much more successful, even with directional and printed, even if the printed fabric isn't directional. I've been much more successful making sure that I have covered it. So when I flip it back over after it's sewed, it will lay where I thought it was supposed to go. So I hope you can maybe, I hope that made sense so that you can use that. And maybe the next one, you won't have to rip out too many times. Hey, Tammy. Oh, yay, finishing a 2-color quilt. So I failed to say this. A couple of folks have been on talking about their 2-color quilt, and I should have talked about that when they were mentioning that. Stephanie Stitches. So Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches. Okay, good, Linda. Let me know. Let me know that if that helps. I can maybe try with more lighting. Actually show that a little bit better in a video, like a how-to short or something. But I'm with Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, working on a collaboration. We're doing a 2-color. I realize I'm looking at this camera because I'm trying to read the the comments. We're working on a 2-color quilt. The next blocks to be voted on, so all of the viewers and we get to vote on our favorite blocks. We're choosing blocks from, let me see if I can grab it. Am I in the right spot? Nope. Okay, now I am. Here we go. We're choosing from the Quilt Builder card decks, and we went through and found the cards that made the most sense to be only 2 colors. And we are putting them up to vote. We're choosing 6 each month. In June, we'll be on Stephanie's channel, where we'll, June 6th, at Tuesday, June 6th at 6 p.m. We'll go on super quick live. This will be month 2, and we're picking the 6 blocks to be voted on for month 2. Hi, Terry. Good morning. Then you'll get to vote on those. The votes will always be on my channel here in my community tab, and there'll be 2 groups to vote on. There'll be the ones that are a little less complicated, simpler, like 4 patches, standard, like beginner friendly quilting standards, half square triangles, 4 patches, like the jewel box was this past month. And then we'll have the the spicy or the sassy group that will be a little more time consuming, a little more tedious, a little more make sure you're paying attention, and then those will be voted on in the other group. And once you'll have a week to vote for those blocks after the week is up and we have the winning 2 blocks, then on Stephanie's blog every month will be she's taking, because I have not ever written and I don't know that I could because maths. Stephanie is writing the patterns. If you have these decks, you'll know that the patterns are very traditional and don't utilize fun things like with the Sparkling Star this month, we did 8 at a time half square triangles. That is not the way it kind of instructs you on these cards. But Stephanie is awesome to write the patterns out for them. They're always free. These are traditional blocks. These are like, you can get the patterns from them anywhere. You don't have to have the deck to do this with us. The patterns will be on Stephanie's blog every month free. And then the 3rd Tuesday of every month, even months on Stephanie's channel, odd months on my channel here, we then sew the blocks together and have you sew along with us if you so choose, or just come hang out with us and talk to us and let us know what you're up to. Then we're having everyone, if they choose, if they would like to, send us emails and show us their blocks all done. And at that Tuesday that we're choosing, the first Tuesday, we're going to have a fashion show of everybody's completed blocks that have decided to share with us. We're going to share all of that. And it will work out to, I need to take a drink of water, sorry. It'll work out to 12 and a half inch unfinished blocks. Whew. So you will end up with 12 and a half inch unfinished blocks. We are not giving you a finishing, no finishing suggestions. We want you to finish them, and we're going to finish them without telling each other how we're finishing them in any which way we want to, with sashing, with borders, with anything, throw some embroidery in there or throw some applique stuff in there. However it speaks to you and you want to finish it, that's how we want you to finish it. And then so the 6th month will be October. In November, we're then going to come back and we're going to share finished quilt tops. And kudos to those of you who will actually have it finished, like quilted and everything. That will not be me. I am not that fast. and I am not going to put pressure on myself to try to do something that I then wouldn't be happy with, because I was trying to finish it too quickly. So I will have the quilt top finished though. I'm very excited. I have some ideas in my head about what I want to do. So we'll see how that works out. We're going to show everybody how we finished ours. We're going to showcase how everybody sent their finished tops in to us. And then there you go. It's done before the Christmas holidays. So you'll have a top finished, ready for gifting if you choose, ready for curling up on your own couch and watching all of the cheesy Hallmark Christmas Story movies and everything. Lifetime and Hallmark, I guess. But you'll have it finished and ready for you to use. Oh, thanks, Ingrid. Ingrid just put up the patterns for month 1. It's never too late to join. Those patterns will be on Stephanie's blog, like forever and always. So if you had no clue about any of this before now, plenty of time to jump on board, because there's still 2 weeks before we even start voting on next month's blocks. And then, another 2 weeks after that. So there's a whole nother month before we even start sewing the second month's blocks. So you definitely have time in between each one to play catch up if you are joining at any point in the next 6 months. You'll have time because unbeknownst to us, we started with the most complicated of the blocks for month for month 1, which was Sparkling Star, which is way too far for me to try to grab. I apologize for not having it right here. But Sparkling Star was the Princess Sassy of the Sassy blocks. And that is the most complicated one that we'll have for the entire 6 months. So we started off with the hardest. So now it'll be nice and easy. And I don't like saying hardest because it was not hard. It was a bunch of half square triangles. We're pretty accustomed to half square triangles. It was just putting those half square triangles together and making the seams. Oh, I actually pinned. I was not happy with pinning, but I pinned to make it work, and it ended up working, and it's gorgeous, and I'm so proud of it, and I love it so much. So that's that. Oh, Scrappy Scarlet and Gray. Ooh, OSU team fabric. Nice. Most complex. Yes, that's the word. Complex. Absolutely doable, because we and if you're just starting quilting, you will soon learn that half square triangles are the bread and butter of just about every quilt project out there. Yeah, lots of pieces and small pieces. They were 2-inch half square triangles, so that's generally smaller than I work with in traditional piecing. Not smaller than I work with when I'm doing foundation paper piecing, though. We can get to some tiny little pieces. Go ahead and put this back up there and finish sewing this one. I was very excited everybody voted for that Sparkling Star. That was gorgeous. It worked so well. I can tell. I could tell from the sound of my machine. I'm gonna need to change my needle soon. It's making a clunk, clunk, clunk as it goes through the fabric and paper. We need to change it. Do you guys do that? Wait until your machine tells you. Oh, I'm glad you thought it was fun, MJ. Yeah, I thought it was too. I don't know. I want to try to grab it, but I'm afraid I'm going to end up, there's some stuff on the, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, on the box, and I'm afraid I'm going to take everything down trying to get to them. Then I would not be PG-13 anymore on my channel. Hi, Sealy. Let's see. Hey, Tamla. Pamela, do we vote for the block? Yes, each month you will get to vote for the blocks. Goodness. And the voting will happen on my channel here under the community tab. And if you know, after this, if you go take a look at the community tab, you can see the first month's votes and how that was set up. That's how we're going to do it again. Or that's how we're just going to do it moving forward for voting. You'll have 2 groups to vote on each month, and you vote for a week. It'll be a week-long vote. I really love that we're doing it. Everybody gets to vote. Everybody gets to decide, in the majority rule. But you get to have your say on which one it's going to be. Oh, buggers, Stephanie! I need to make you a moderator, and I wonder if I could do that now. Sorry about that. Said I was going to do that, and then I didn't, and now don't know that I can this quickly. Let's see if I right click, like I could. Nightbot was getting sassy too. Oh, let's see. No, I gotta do it through like Studio or something. I'm getting scolded. Let's see. Oh, all right, let's see. There we go. See, I'm learning. I'll get all this done. There we go. Hey, yes, now you're dangerous. All right. Here we go. Got the next piece in. Oh, these deep, dark, like royal purples are gorgeous. Love it so much. And the next piece is down here. I'm going to put my card. Some folks will fold back with their quarter square, goodness gracious, I've got them in my triangles in my head. Their quarter rulers, they'll fold back. I just use whatever promotional card I have sitting around. Oh, that's awesome, Paula. Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. Stephanie has been not just a friend, but the like, or not just a mentor. Like, to be both is just incredible. I'm very, very lucky to have gotten to meet Stephanie. I've gone to Stephanie's retreats. I Facebook stalked her for a while, watching her videos, and then went to the first Millersburg retreat and got to meet her. And it's just been fantastic getting to know her. And then she's just come and helped me, like, been such a champion and supporter. And not that there aren't others, but it's just been really nice. It's just, I don't know. This is why I don't get mushy, because I never know exactly what to say to tell you exactly what I mean. How big will this one be? This is gonna be, so yeah, I'm doing FEP. I'm doing the Sail Away, this beauty right here, and it works up to 60 by 80. This I'm working on down here, these deep purples in the water. And this section right here, this lime and bright idea, I think, is the yellow. This, I love this part right there. I'm zoomed in with myself. Yes, on my way to 400. It has been, what a wild ride. It has been such a wild time. It's so exciting. I was talking to Sean about this. Like, I don't have any ideas. I don't have plans. I've just kind of been going with it. But beyond wanting to do FPP and helping folks learn as much as they can about legit kits, because I'm trying to become a certified legit kit instructor. Beyond helping people do that and having fun talking to you all, I really have no clue where I'm going with this YouTube journey. And I'm trying not to think about it too much, because I'll talk myself out of doing things. I don't know if everybody else struggles with that, those scared voices in your head telling you, don't do that. Don't stretch yourself. But I'm almost at 400 friends out here in YouTube land. It's so exciting. And we'll figure it out together, I guess. The stuff that you guys want to see, the stuff I want to share, it'll kind of be a group effort. In the past couple of weeks, I've done an interview with Stephen Bland. He was on earlier. I'm not sure if he's still working on his embroidery. And I've got to do live sew and chats with Stephanie, and I did a live sew and chat yesterday with the guy who sews, Sean. It's incredible. Just I knew that the quilting community was very supportive and incredible when it came to like charity quilts and helping people just going through stuff. I never knew that would also reach into, wanting to see anything that I was doing. Just never thought. Yeah, so many wonderful people. It's a pretty amazing group of folks we get to work with and talk to and sew with and meet every once in a while out in the wild. Oh, Tamala, I love to hear that. I really, 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 really love that folks are just saying, you know what, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. Because it's fun. It's definitely fun to do. I think it's even more fun to do with a group of people, so that you can share your struggles, so that you can share your own, like, aha, I figured it out. Maybe try this when you get to that point. Oh, Katie, you'll have to share how that long arm class goes. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, in a clear plastic container. That's awesome. I have this insanely bright sun of a light over here that, like, when I'm just, watching a TV show or something, I usually hold it up on that, because that's usually at night that I'm sewing. But it is nice to have the natural light coming in. But I like that idea of a light inside a clear, because I definitely have those clear bucket things hanging around. And I do have one of those light tables, but that's definitely not one of the gadgets that I keep on hand. And then because it's not right next to me, I never end up using it. So I end up having to MacGyver some other way, either using the really bright light or putting it up against a window. Because it's never convenient to pull out the light box, and then where do you set it up, and you have to have it plugged in, and blah 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 blah, all that stuff. All right, so that's how funny it looks right now with bits over the sew lines, or the seam allowances. And now we're going to trim it up. I'm going to grab my ruler. And we'll trim. Oh, Terabita light box from a shadow box. Put a tap light. What's a tap light? I don't know what a tap light is. I'm gonna feel like a goober when you tell me what a tap light is, aren't I? Because I probably do know what it is. Oh well. I need to quit talking. So I like that you guys talk in the comments. Because it can be weird, like I can't hear myself, other than the fact that I'm talking out loud, but I certainly don't need to be responding to myself. That's when we need to worry. A round battery operated light that you tap to turn on. Oh, very cool. Oh, thank you. Great. So when I'm trimming, because of the sewing, which will make the papers kind of crinkle and stuff, and because I do use the Easy Press Acorn starch alternative, I just want to make sure that I'm always using the 1/4 inch from, like, truing up the 1/4 inch to the inside of where the sew line is going to be. Not assuming that the paper where it says is a 1/4 inch for the seam allowance. I'm never assuming that that's still accurate after I've sewn and I've ironed and I've done all of the just thrashing to the paper that you do while you're doing this. I never assume that has stayed true. So I always cut the 1/4 inch from the sew line. So no matter what has happened to the paper, when you're joining up these pieces with the other pieces, you're always starting from the same place. So your 1/4 inch is always starting from the same place in that sew line. If that makes sense. Oh, Terry, that'd be cool. A short on that. That'd be awesome. The great grands. Oh, little nuggets. Woo, for 10 hours. You're gonna need a nap after that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here we go. Oh, then you got back into learning. Good. Good. So here is where I said I was just gonna live dangerously and not cut. So you can see the sew line goes all the way down. Oh, can you see the sew line? Let's see. You can see the sew line goes all the way down here. And this part of the sewing line from adding the fabric. This is the sew line from adding the fabric, not putting the block together. It's all within the seam allowance. So I didn't cut this piece the full way down. But again, it's in the seam allowance. So to me, I'm totally cool with that because I was able to use the piece I had and made it work. Totally comfortable with this bit because it's in the seam allowance. It's not going to hurt anything. And there's fabric to catch on to when I sew these pieces together. So not concerned. See, I think you can see that where it's down in here in the seam allowance. So I'm happy with that. Yay, piece 2 done. So H2C and H2B is done. And then I'll have to get the sew guide, the assembly guide paperwork out because I'm not exactly sure how these pieces go together. I feel like that's probably how they're going to come together. Oh yeah, because the GM's up here and the GM here. I think that'll probably look good. Let's flip it over and see. But when in doubt, I definitely, I'm gonna pull the seam allowance up there. When in doubt, well, not even when in doubt, just I go by the assembly guide so I don't have to rip anything out because that's a terror and a half. Hi, Shelly Clark. Long day yesterday. Yep. I hope it was a good day though. So yeah, I feel like those two pieces will align, but I'll pull out the assembly guide, like I was saying, before I do any of that. And then this next piece is the biggest piece for the H2. I've already got QV pulled out. Oh, I know the folks that they have that understand color theory are brilliant. I love it. I love them. I love that they do that for me so I don't have to think about it. All of y'all that are confident enough and are able to go out and pick your own fabrics for this, you are like idols to me because I do not have that confidence at all. I just don't. I don't have the confidence at all. I'm said it before. I'm a pull it off the rack kind of off of the mannequin and put it on kind of gal. Oh, it was a sale yesterday. Okay. That's why it was a long day for Shelly. Oh, made some money. Got a sunburn. Oh, Shelly, were you saying that it was 95 degrees yesterday? I had a lot of stuff going on yesterday. Oh, Tamala, I could pull that out. So the first month paperwork, whoops. Let me do this here. The first month paperwork looks like this. This is my organization. So BJ the Blue Jay is in the front here, and then my Vortex is going to go in the back of my big old accordion file of how I organize legit kits. I have a video for that. I should link that down in the description of here. So this is all of the paperwork that came with month one, and I'll show you everything that it has. Additionally, is it going to stay? Don't fall. Okay. Additionally, I have some of the amazing folks did did some work on the fabric totals. If you're pulling your own fabrics, did fabric pulls, how much you'll need for all of the months. But the block one came with all of this. Let's see. $96 degrees. Oh, hi, Judy. Not late. Always right on time. Hi, Kate. Oh, yay. Yes, Jamie's awesome. Jamie is the cranky kangaroo. She is an ambassador for Legit Kits. She teaches classes at quilt shows and stuff like that. Ingrid and I are going in August 25th and 26th. And we're taking a class with Jamie. Excited to do that. Yeah. Cranky Kangaroo is an awesome one to watch. Jamie with Cranky Kangaroo, Amy with Quilty Boozy Quilter, Quilty Boozer. That'd be a good name too, though. The Boozy Quilter is Amy. She's got good stuff, good tricks and stuff out there. Yeah, there's a good number of folks. It is so much fun. It's so much fun. And the precision of it really speaks to my soul. So, okay, Tamala, sorry, sidetracked. Woo, scroll. This is the paperwork that you get with month one. So you get the whole layout. You get to see what the whole color vortex looks like. Let me pull that down so you can see a little bit better. So this is on the pattern side. This is the finished quilt. So it's, mirror of what you're sewing to what the pretty side looks like. The instructions, and then in month one. So those are like the general overall of what the whole quilt is going to look like. In month one, you get what the 4 blocks that you'll work on for month one looks like, how they'll go together. So it's a 4-patch. It's a big 4-patch, but it's a 4-patch. And then the colors that come in the kit. So this is the pieces I'm talking about. If you got digital, you may have gotten an email from Legit Kits where they send out all of the months by the list of fabric and by code and how big it is. But that doesn't necessarily take into consideration that because each month, if you're using Bright Idea, say you're using Bright Idea in 7 months out of the 12 months, you're going to get enough Bright Idea in each mailing you get to complete that mailing. So the sizes that they're listing here is going to be like, it's going to expand exponentially each month that you get it, where you're going to have more scraps left over. Where if you had gotten everything at one time, so let's say at the end of the 12 months, Bright Idea, you got shipped a half a yard total because they've done it separately in separate months. You ended up getting a half a yard. But if it had been a full kit that you got all at one time, like their traditional kits, you might have only gotten a quarter yard because you would have been cutting everything all at the same time, and they weren't having to make sure you had enough each month so that you even if you might have had a miscut, you had enough. I hope that makes sense. But I do have where some folks there is a Facebook group for Legit Kit Block of the Month, and that a lot of this information is in there. There's a spreadsheet. Yeah, Shelly made a spreadsheet, so they've shared in that Facebook group kind of more of the information for if you're pulling your own fabrics, because if you are international, you had to get digital. If you chose to do digital because you have a healthy stash and you know that you can pull the information, it's there. But Tamala, I have those files and I can send them to you too. Yes, I love spreadsheets so much, so very much. And the organization needed to keep on top of what you're doing with Legit Kits has definitely melded with my love of spreadsheets and keeping track of all the things. When I was testing Sail Away, I definitely utilized my love of spreadsheets to keep track of the issues that I ran into, like which block it was and what row it was and what color it was. That was fun. There we go. Okay. Oh, Tamala, that makes sense. Okay. Yes. Awesome. Bye, Shelly. It was good seeing you. Shelly S, not Shelly C. Kate, yes. Absolutely, they did send adequate fabric. There was one that was that some folks felt was closer than others, and here are my leftover scraps from month one to give you an idea. So this is what I had left of chartreuse. And I did, for this first month, I have said I'm usually a cut as I go kind of person. And I probably, for the rest of the blocks of the month, I will probably continue to be that person. It felt very foreign to me for this first month to cut by the cut guides. It felt weird. But it was good for me to show that for the first month to anybody who's brand new, that, you know, this is how to follow the cut guides. And even then I strayed from the cut guides because I really like right angles. And so anyway, but I will probably be doing cut as I go for the remainder of the blocks. But this is leftovers from this first month. Was it chartreuse that, Tammy, I think it was key lime. Was key lime that got a little funky? And I think the reason why I ended up with a good amount of key lime is strictly because I have been doing foundation paper piecing for a couple of years now. And weird to say because I felt so lost when I started, I'm pretty confident and comfortable with cutting my fabrics a little truer to the actual size than I would ever recommend somebody new doing. So I think that might be why I ended up with a healthier amount of fabric left over than others may have found that they did. But this is a comfortable amount to me because some of the smaller pieces, always, first and foremost, always cut your largest pieces first. So if you're looking through and you're just starting, always start off with the largest pieces for each fabric. And that way you can like, that's why this key lime has a couple of pieces, and that's why chartreuse has a couple of pieces, because I cut the largest piece and then I worked in the smaller pieces where it made sense to me. So always cut those first. Oh man, I remember Lotus. Right Idea has a good amount left over. Sour Apple is probably, look at this, that's a pretty good chunk. And again, I think that has more to do with the fact that I'm more comfortable cutting much closer to the actual size of the piece you need than them really like over sending. But Tammy found out, and I'm so glad, like, I'm never glad that somebody makes a mistake that they have to then work to fix. But Tammy, who's here, miscut and learned that, yes, definitely cut the largest piece first, and reached out to Legit Kits and said, hey, I had a cutting boo-boo. I don't have enough of this color. And she said, I will pay for it. I, of course, understand that, that she was the one that made the boo-boo. Nope. They mailed it right out to her because they really want you to be able to be successful and be happy, because the happier you are and the more successful you are, the better for them. You're going to be a happy customer. You're going to tell people how excited you are and happy you are about it. So I almost lost all my scraps. That would have been so mad. So I would have been mad. That would have been bad. So don't feel like if you make a mistake in cutting that you can't reach out to them. Dawn, you applied to be a tester. Oh, Dawn, is that what, did they say that to you? That was the reason? Because I didn't, when I applied to be a tester, I didn't have a YouTube channel. So I don't know. I can't speak to that because that was not my experience. And hadn't had anybody say that to me either. Ooh. So I'm sorry to hear that if someone said that to you. Kate, you're a cut as you go person too. Yes, I like to do that. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Just start sewing the pieces together and see how it works. That would really put my ability to be scrappy to the test. Yeah, so Terry, that absolutely. I think in most cases you'll be able to do that, even with the solids, because where all of these pieces meet, there are sew lines, and for some of the crazy angles, even a solid in a one piece like this, you'll have the same colors meeting, but because you want a crazy angle, you're doing it in a couple of pieces. So I am definitely a proponent of if you can put the scraps together and it creates a fabric that you're happy with, that you're okay with. But in some cases, it may be that you have so many scraps and then you have so many seam lines that it's just not something you're going to be happy with. And if it's not something that you're not going to be happy with, then Legit Kits doesn't want you to not be happy. But I am on board with put them together, especially like with batiks. They are so fluid that you really can't tell that you've pieced two pieces together. Yeah, customer service is awesome. Right, yeah. You definitely don't want that seam like right down the middle where it may not be matching up with any other seam, and so it's just kind of eye-catching where it's at, but that's not always possible. So knowing that they're there to help you if you find yourself in that situation is incredible. It's awesome. Oh, you know what? I could just talk forever and always. So let me see what time it is. Oh, it's almost 1. Okay. Oh, Paula, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you were able to join us today. Excited to have you here. It's almost 1, so I don't know that I'll start cutting for this one. I'm going to continue working on it today, probably though, because again, I'd like to. Oh, I think I saw somebody. I'm so sorry that I missed. I saw somebody ask if I had completed any of the Legit Kits, and I apologize for skipping right over it. I saw it. I was going to come back to it, and then I did not. I have not finished a Legit Kits kit. I have so many Legit Kits kits, and I have not finished one yet. I applied to become a tester for Sail Away, and I got approved to become a tester and started doing the Sail Away and did the blocks that I was asked to do. So I fulfilled my tester duties faithfully. But then is when I realized like how excited I was about it. That's when I started the YouTube, really putting the videos on what I was learning and what to do out. So I've only been doing this for 3 months on YouTube. but YouTube is absolutely, if you let it can be such a time suck. And wanting to do this well and easy for the audience that chooses to come watch means a lot to me. So it has become something that is also taking up time. So I started Sail Away as a tester. Then my friend Ingrid, who's the moderator here, hi Ingrid, she had been a tester for the mini Sculliver and didn't finish it because it just wasn't something that like spoke to her. She wasn't interested in that. So I tissue. So I asked if I could buy that off of her. So I now have mini Sculliver. I also have the 3 flowers, the rose, the iris. Is it a lotus? Or am I thinking lotus because we were just talking about lotus notes? I can't remember. I don't remember. But I have the 3 flowers. Haven't finished that. Have BJ the Blue Jay. Haven't finished that. I want every single one of them, but I also have a 9-to-5 job to help support my fabric obsession and my legit kits obsession. So there's just not enough hours in the day. So no, I have not finished a legit kit, which is why I'm really trying to I really want to get Sail Away done because I was a tester and it means a lot to me to say that I finished it. I think it's important for me to finish it because I want to be an instructor. I think it's kind of important to finish one of their kits to prove that I can complete something that I have started with them. So I need to retrain my brain from being a habitual starter of projects, and I need to start finishing the projects. So yeah, that's I need to get on that. Ron Cleve. I got a 1/4 yard of each, which is the minimum. Yeah, you'll have some left over for sure on some of them, but they're solids, and so to me that's never a bad thing to have some left over. Did as a tester, do you let them know how it all came together? Problems you? Yes, they are. Well, there are a number of kits in, so they are really good at the conversation between legit kits and the testers. They had a line of communication just for corrections that we've noticed, things that we ran into, which is how, so for this block, you'll see I have QV already cut out. Some of the folks so H wasn't a row that I had a test block in, so I didn't know about any issues that were happening with QV. But as the testers who are working on H were working their blocks up, they realized they were working with a lot of QV, and the people that are full fabric cutters at the beginning did it for the whole quilt top, and they are animals. I love them. That's amazing. And so they were finding the ones that were cutting it close, and so we're giving recommendations of saying, hey, QV is really close. There were a couple of them that they're really tight. So you might want to go up a little bit when you send out the kits for real, after testing. We talked about, the assembly guide says H2A 2 times instead of H2A and H2B, all that kind of stuff. We were always communicating with each other on the things that we were finding. Very exciting. It was a lot of fun to be a part of. Yeah, the flowers are gorgeous. I'm working those up for my mom. I don't think she's on anymore, but I'm working those up for her. Ooh, Shelly was a part of cell phone. That's awesome. That would be fun to be a part of the kickoff of cell. Oh, cats have emerged from the upstairs. Oh, all right. Well, let's see. I'm not going to go ahead and start cutting on this. So I think unless there are any more questions, I'm going to see if I can actually end a live from Zoom and see if that works okay. But first, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Thank you so much for being here. It's been so much fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. I loved all the questions you all asked. That's so helpful for me to, know where you guys are running into issues with different things. Also, the questions that you guys are asking each other and having the conversations with is incredible. I really am excited to have everybody join. I'm going to be here Sundays, 11 to 1 each week. I will have my podcast up on Thursday morning because I record those Wednesday evenings. But yeah, thanks everybody. Be on the lookout for June 6th on Stephanie's channel where we pick our blocks to vote on for the 2-color quilt challenge. Oh, thank you guys, everybody. It's been so much fun. Thank you all. All right, we're going to see if I can do this. Let's see. All right, everybody have